You remember how we've discussed the day years and times and also the biphytic nature of both Daniel and Revelation, and we discovered that our key to understanding Revelation was in Daniel. The same is true about the beasts in Revelation. The key to understanding the beasts in Revelation is in Daniel. Now, I want to again show you the graph of the Babylonian captivity, just to refresh your memory. The Babylonian captivity began in 606 BC. The temple was destroyed in 586, but sacrifices were not abolished until 583 BC, as we have proved earlier. Nebuchadnezzar lived to 562 BC. Nebuchadnezzar took control of the kingdom in 555, and Belshazzar was made regent in 552 BC. The Jews were allowed to return home under the decree of Darius in 536, and then the final prophecy of Daniel was written in 533. The prophecy of the 1290 days gives us 50 years, was given 50 years after the sacrifices were abolished. From that we know that we're not dealing with just literal days, but are dealing with prophetic day years. Now, I want to read first about the great image in Daniel 2. This vision is given to Nebuchadnezzar, and it's written in Aramaic. So this vision is to and about Gentile nations. To and about Gentile nations who are going to rule in the Holy Land into the far future. So let's look at this prophecy. Reading from Daniel 2, verses 31 through 45, and I've excerpted it some to make it a little shorter. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This image head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut without hands, which smote the image upon his feet and brake them in pieces. In the days of those kings, notice this is plural kings, not just one king. This is the 10 toes, the kings of the 10 toes. Shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to another people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Now continuing on, Daniel 2, 36 through 34. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof to the king. Thou, O king, art the king of kings. This is the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar. For the God of heaven has given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. Wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven hath he given into thine hand, and hath made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. So here you see figurative language at its best. You see this great image, and this great image has a head of gold, chest of silver, thighs of brass, legs and feet of iron, and iron and clay. And here we are given the definition of this figure, that Nebuchadnezzar is the head of gold. And after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee. The kingdom that followed Nebuchadnezzar was Medo-Persia. And after them another, a third kingdom of brass. The kingdom that followed that was Greece under Alexander the Great, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom, Rome, shall be as strong as iron, forasmuch as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall it break in pieces and bruise. And when thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it the strength of the iron, forasmuch as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of those kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. Now I want to show you a graph of this, if I may. The kingdom of Babylon existed between 606 and 536 BC, It was destroyed by Darius, as you read in Daniel 6, and you read here, "Thou art the king of head of gold." Then Medo-Persia followed from 536 to 332 BC, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and this is verse 39. And then Greece followed from 332 to 65 BC, and another kingdom of brass shall rule over all the earth, verse 39. And then Rome from 65 BC to 475 AD, and the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces, verse 40. Here you see many nations from 475 all the way up to 1967, and you see these 10 toes, the descendants of both the Eastern and Western Roman empires, and sure enough, they're mixed together, but they don't cling to one another, haven't done so ever since the Roman Empire was dissolved. The great image vision was given to a Gentile king at the beginning of the time of the Gentiles to show the Gentiles there would be only 4 major world empires and their descendants who would rule over the Holy Land into the far future, and so it's turned out to be. It's been those 4 kingdoms in the Middle East and their descendants who've ruled that area ever since then.